It began the night Daniel brought the mirror home. He had found it at a small antique shop on the edge of town, dusty, cracked at the frame, yet strangely perfect. The shopkeeper's eyes had followed him as he carried it out, a faint smirk curling his lips. "Old things, remember," the man had said. "Be careful what you wake." Daniel laughed it off. That night, rain lashed against the windows as thunder crawled over the sky. He hung the mirror in the hallway, opposite his bedroom door. The glass was so clear, it almost looked like another room staring back at him. Before bed, he glanced at his reflection. For a moment, he thought the reflection smiled a second longer than he did. He told himself it was the light, but at 3:12 a.m., Daniel woke up to the sound of whispering. Soft, close, inside the house. He froze, listening. The whispering was faint, like wind slipping through cracks in the wall, except it was saying his name, Daniel. He sat up, heart hammering. Who's there? No answer, just the faint tick of the old clock in the hallway. He reached for his phone. 3:13. The whisper came again, softer, from the direction of the hall. Daniel grabbed a flashlight and crept toward the door. Each step felt heavier than the last. He opened the door slowly. The beam of light cut through the dark hall and stopped at the mirror. Something was standing behind his reflection. Daniel's breath caught in his throat. He raised the light, but there was nothing behind him in the hall. Yet in the mirror, a tall shadow loomed right over his shoulder. It didn't move. It didn't blink. Daniel stumbled backward, slamming the bedroom door shut. He leaned against it, trembling. No sound now, just his own breathing. He told himself it was a trick of the light again. He didn't sleep the rest of the night. Morning came gray and heavy. Daniel tried to laugh it off, poured coffee, turned on the TV, opened the curtains. But when he passed the hallway again, the mirror was fogged over from the inside. He wiped the glass with his hand and froze. There was a handprint, small, pale, on the inside of the glass. He stepped back. The handprint slowly faded, but not before the fingers twitched. That night, the whispers returned. This time they were clearer. "Let me out." Daniel stared at the mirror, eyes wide. The reflection was smiling again, but his own face wasn't. He threw a blanket over the mirror. The whisper turned into laughter, muffled but real. He backed into his room, hands shaking. From behind the blanket, something knocked. 3 times. Then silence. Daniel didn't move again that night. He just sat there, staring at the door, until morning light crept through the blinds. Daniel didn't go to work the next day. He couldn't. Every time he tried to leave the apartment, he felt the weight of something watching him from behind the walls. The blanket still covered the mirror, but somehow it moved an inch to the left. He swore he hadn't touched it. At nightfall, the air grew colder. The lights flickered once, then went out. Daniel stood in the hallway, phone flashlight trembling in his hand. The blanket began to rise, slowly, from the inside. Something underneath was moving, pressing against the fabric like a hand trying to push through. "Stop," Daniel whispered. The movement froze. He took a step back. Then a voice came, soft, broken, and coming from inside the mirror. "You brought me home, Daniel." His throat went dry. "Who are you?" The blanket slid off by itself, falling to the floor. In the reflection, Daniel saw himself standing in the dark hall, but his reflection didn't hold a phone. It was smiling again. "I waited," the reflection said. Its lips moved, but no sound came from Daniel's mouth. Then the reflection blinked, but Daniel hadn't. Panic surged through him. He stumbled back, tripping over the blanket. The lights flickered again, this time from inside the mirror. Behind his reflection, dozens of faces pressed against the glass. Men, women, children, pale and twisted, their mouths open in silent screams. Daniel screamed, and through the flashlight, it cracked against the glass. The mirror didn't break. Instead, the reflection did. It twisted, smiling wider, as a hand reached out from inside the mirror. Pale fingers brushed Daniel's cheek. He screamed, stumbling backward into the wall. "Don't leave me alone again," the voice hissed. The faces in the glass began to fade, one by one, until only Daniel's reflection remained. Except, his reflection was still smiling. He covered the mirror again, nailed it to the wall, and locked the hallway door. Days passed. He stopped sleeping, stopped eating. Neighbors said they heard him talking to someone at night, but when they checked, Daniel was always alone. 1 week later, the landlord unlocked the apartment. Daniel was sitting in the hallway facing the mirror. The blanket was gone. The mirror was cracked now, not shattered, just a single deep split down the center. Daniel turned his head slowly. His eyes were wide, pupils huge and dark. "They're quiet now," he whispered. "They just watch." He smiled, the same crooked smile as the one in the glass. And behind his reflection, another face was smiling too.